Urgent public auction, forced public auction. Everything must sell regardless. You might have gotten a flyer like this in the mail at some point in your life. Urgent public auction, liquidation auction mandated due to the hedge fund, so on and so forth. Are these legitimate auctions? Are they real? Do they have any merit? Or are they all fake Ponzi schemes like a cruise ship auction? We'll talk about that and more today on Behind the Gavel with Jason. Thank you all so much for watching. Hey, Stacy, thanks for watching, babe. So I got this flyer in the mail the other day. Fine Arts, Persian and Eastern Rugs, Estates auction, 1 day only. Free admission, which is always the case at an auction. And so it's an interesting concept, right? This is not a new thing. Auctioneers have bought auctions around the country forever. Sometimes you have an auction or an estate that's based in New York, and so you go to New York to sell it, or you go to California to sell it, or wherever the case may be. Other times you have an estate that the assets would do better in a different city, so you move it. There are companies like Mecum that travel the country doing auto auctions and Showtime auctions out of, I think, Michigan, that do spectacular auctions of antiques and collectibles and advertising and that sort of thing. And those are all fantastic companies. Those are all good auctions with long-established track records and legitimate offerings for an auction. What we're talking about today is when you get something like this and it says something similar, because they all say something similar. I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 of the main styles. Liquidation auction mandated due to the hedge fund and Ponzi disaster victims' personal assets, contents of the home, and other consignments for immediate cash realization. It doesn't say anything. It's all just gobbledygook. There's nothing there that makes any sense if you look at it as a true sentence, and there's nothing there that gives you any concrete information as to what they're selling or why. They throw out some really great buzzwords: Ponzi scheme, hedge fund victims, things like that. The other one that you'll see quite a bit is items from the estate of, and fill in the blank. And that's a pretty easy thing to pull off. You can buy items from the estate of anybody. Usually you can find things relatively cheap. And if you have items from that estate, the advertising is not incorrect, but it certainly is misleading. And that's the problem I have with this one that I received in the mail the other day. They're coming to Kansas City tomorrow. If I have a chance, I'll run over there, and I'll probably do a live video from the location if I do make it. But these folks are implying that they have all these wonderful things. They mentioned Renoir, Rembrandt, Monet, Manet, Degas, Miro, Picasso, Chagall, Tarquet, Dali. Those are the artists that they list here. Oriental rugs by Kashan, Tabriz, Kerman, Tabriz, Hamadan, Bejar, Sarouk, and others as well. And what they're going to do and what they have done, I've been to these before, and I'll go tomorrow just to verify that what I think is going to happen. It's basically a cruise ship auction without the free champagne. They will have items that you can legitimately call a Picasso lithograph, but that doesn't mean anything. Picasso, there were a lot of books produced while artists were alive, and the plates were made of lithographic quality, and they're called lithographs, but their value is nominal. And they'll say Picasso lithographs can sell up to $10,000. I can't believe we're selling this one for $300, $400. And reality is it's a $40 or $50 print they put into a decent frame, all mass produced. It looks decent. And the reason this is important for us is that we get calls once or twice a year on people who've bought items from auctions like this, like a cruise ship auction, and they feel like they've got a wonderful piece. They've got a Renoir, they've got a Rembrandt, they have a Picasso, they have a Dali, they have all these great things, and yet what we see and what they find out is they bought the idea of a piece like that. They were sold a piece like that. If you look up under YouTube art scam auctions, you'll see what these kinds of people will say and do. They'll use hard numbers in a roundabout way to make you think you're getting a better deal than you're getting. Now, can you buy good things at these auctions? I assume you can. but you really have to know what you're looking at and looking for, and not be swayed by what the auctioneer tells you. I mean, auctions are there's definitely salesmanship in an auction, whether it's online or in person. But when these people, it's just like going to a cruise ship auction. We went on a cruise a couple of years ago, and I went to one of those auctions, and it was amazing what they didn't say with everything that they did say, and what they made people believe they were saying as they went along, to get them to spend a lot of money on things. It's misrepresentation in an abstract form. Hard to do much about it, because there always is a caveat that statements made sale day don't apply, or these are just our thoughts or opinions. But when they put it out there in such a way, it looks like they're really actually saying that something is what it is. It's no different than going to a live auction and somebody says they're selling a piece of sterling silver when it's really silver plate. The auctioneer may not know, but you need to know as a buyer, so that you're buying what you think you're buying, and don't overpay for something that could be bought in other locations for a much lesser price. Thank you all so much for watching. Excuse me. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them here. Drop us a direct message. I'll give you our phone number and email address at the end of the video. But again, we're just, as we get see more and more of these. And the other thing that we look for, and I did on this, I looked up their phone number and the address they gave. The phone number is a cell number, which isn't uncommon. If you're a traveling auctioneer, you probably have that. But the address they gave is not for a legitimate location. It's for a UPS franchise location that has them. You can rent the mailboxes with the real street address. And so when you see that, if you do any research on the auctions, get flyers like that in the mail, or otherwise, if you see that their address is a mail and more type location, a UPS franchise that sells these rental mailboxes, wonder why that is. Why don't they have a true location that they can advertise, as opposed to just not a fake address, but a for rent address that doesn't have any business dealings there. So do the research into who you're buying from, and make sure that what you are buying is what you say it is. They also talk about buying and turning items into fast cash. Again, make sure you know what you're selling if you decide to bring them something to sell. If they're offering you cash, they're going to offer you pennies on the dollar, more than likely, and you will not receive the true value if you have some patience and have any kind of idea of what you should be selling with a little bit of work, and or finding somebody who's local to your region, who does auctions regularly in and amongst you and your neighbors. They're going to do you a much better job than somebody into town just for a couple of days trying to take advantage of the urgency and the forced action of their advertising. I think that's about it. We're going to kind of wrap this up early today. It's a wonderful Friday afternoon or morning here in Kansas City. Again, if you have questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns, drop us a message here. Send us a message through private message or direct mail message here. You can always give us a call at 816-283-3633. You can also send us an email at info@kcauctioncompany.com. We have a great auction online right now. We have 2 great art auctions for the end of the year. And so keep checking our website for what we have coming up and what we have going on now. Did a great appraisal event up in Clay County last Sunday. Had a lot of people turn out to find out what their items were worth and support the Clay County Historical Society, which was a lot of fun. And we actually have an event coming with KCPT that I'll have more details for next week, but that should be a really interesting project coming forward. And next week on Behind the Gavel with Jason, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence creating art. Christie's sold just this week an AI-produced, artificial intelligence-produced painting for $432,000, with a lot of hyperbole around it and a lot of pomp and circumstance. And we'll kind of dive into, is it really worth it? Is it a fluke? Is it something that's going to happen again? Or did Christie's pull the wool over everybody's eyes on this deal? So that'll be an interesting conversation. Lots of information out there about it. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, email, phone call, Facebook message, any other thing like that, and we'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Happy Halloween next week already. Thanks.